Oh, very warm welcome to everyone. My name is Mark, and today's video I'm trying to find out if I invented a new chess opening or I'm just being delusional. So the point is, when I'm playing with the black pieces, usually wrote me that I'm playing Karukan defense, but as I'm seeing over here, it's not really matching up what came up as Karukan defense. So I don't really find it similar for my opening. And when I'm playing with white pieces, it's recognized as the one Kruji's opening, but I don't really see the same pattern over here. So I'm not gonna take my words any further. I'm just gonna show you guys all play when I'm playing with the black pieces. Mainly I'm just building a pawn structure onto right side. Usually I'm not really paying attention to what my opponent is doing because I have a safe structure over here. I can easily move my knight over here. My pawn will be defended against the bishop over here, and after my knight is coming over here, even can defend the square over here. And if I move my pawn over it from there to there, the knight is still defended by a bishop. Of course, I will need to find a different strategy if the white bishop takes my knight over there, but most of the times my opponents don't really go for the transaction that is can be done here. And usually, sometimes I'm just moving this pawn forward by a square to have a bishop even spot for the square. But mostly I'm just coming out with my queen over here to give him a check like I'm doing in the upcoming round. Now my knight is came up here, so if I move my queen over here, and it will be here, giving my opponent a check, he can block it with his bishop, with his queen, or with his knight. But if he is they usually defending with their knight, I can just easily go forward by my pawn and put some pressure over this pawn over here. And if they are going for the transaction, like they are taking my pawn with their pawn, I can just easily go for a free rook. So most of the times I'm just doing that, and this would be the opening part for my new strategy. I started to optimize this opening around 550 elo. Now I'm at 690 elo. I'm not really sure if I'm being delusional or I just invented this thing, but I'm gonna show you guys how this match ended because there are no more uh, moves there. He opened up with his knight. Now I can go forward with my pawn, putting some pressure over his knight and his other pawn. He moved back with his knight to save it from the pawn, but of course I can give him a check again by this pawn moving forward by a square. He blocked away with his bishop. Now I blocked the bishop view with a knight, so he can capture the knight with his bishop, but after that I can capture the bishop with my queen, also giving him a check again, so I can win some pieces over there. But he was going for the pawn over here, putting some pressure over my queen now. Uh, but I was moving backwards, still defending the knight, and he's now putting more danger on my queen with his rook. Again, he wanted to put some pressure over my rook, over my queen and my knight, but I was moving forward to save the square again with a pawn. He was moving forward by other pawn to put some pressure over my knight, but that was a mistake by him because now I could have been give him a checkmate. So basically that's the point when I'm playing with the black pieces, and to chess.com it's saying it's a Caro-Kann defense, but I don't really see the same pattern on it. And now I'm gonna show you guys how I'm playing with the white pieces, kind of the same strategy as I do with the black pieces, but a little bit of the difference that I'm gonna show you why I needed to apply. So I'm not opening up two same pawns over there because one time I tried to do that because I didn't really pay attention that I'm playing with the white pieces and not the black pieces. So usually I was opening up onto the right corner, and that was a mistake because you can see I can't even let out my queen now because I have a pawn streak over there, and I was doing uh, the same thing I will do with the black pieces, except my king is in this side and not my queen, and he just came here with his queen, and that was a checkmate. So I had to evolve this strategy a little bit, and now I'm just usually opening up with another pawn to let out my queen and have a more refined pawn structure over the right corner onto the board. I can open up with this pawn. He can still go for that pawn over here that I can capture with my other pawn. And also he can come out with his queen again, giving me a check. I can block it with my queen, but if he goes for my queen, I can capture it with my king, but my plan will be screwed. So most of the times I'm just hoping that moves don't happen. And now I can still go out with another pawn to move forward again by a square. After it will be a strong pawn structure over here, so I can defend two pawns with another pawn. And after I make that move with this pawn, I can also bring out my knight, and this square will be really defended. And he's coming out with his knight. Now if I move forward with my pawn, I can put some pressure over his knight. So that's cool, and I do that here. And now I'm coming out with my knight that is defended by the bishop, so I'm not really worried about if he coming forward by a square with that pawn and he can capture my knight, because in the end I can capture with my bishop, but I would need to change my strategy. But he was coming out with his black bishop. Now he's putting some pressure over this pawn by 2 pieces, but I'm also securing this square by 2 pieces, so that's cool. Now even with 3, and my queen is here, can do some damage around. And now he's opening with his pawn right here. I can counter it if I move my other pawn over here, but you could capture my queen, so I was just moving forward my queen by a square. After that I can even move here, put some pressure over his rook, and if I do that I can give him a check. He will be forced to move back over here with his bishop. Now he was already moving back with his bishop, putting some pressure over my queen. I was just moving forward, backward, because I didn't want to lose this position. I was moving forward by a pawn to put some pressure over to knight. That's not even the opening part from now on, I think, because that's the knight move. But basically that's my strategy at the opening, because my structure over the right corner is very defended. So now he can go for my rook now, because he gave me a check with his knight. Of course I was moving forward by my king. But now I can break through over here, because he was a little bit greedy and go for a pawn over here, and I did that. Now he's moving backwards with his knight, because I could have been catch it and also give him a check. I'm giving him a check. Now he can capture blocked away with his bishop or with his queen, but I can capture the rook with my queen, and luckily that happened. And again I can go for the 3 pieces, because now he will be forced again to block this way. Maybe he's blocking with his queen, and he did that. He was going for the rook. I was slowly building up my knight over here to put some pressure over to queen again. Now he's putting some pressure over my knight and also giving me a check with his bishop. I was moving backward with my king. Now I can go here with my knight to put some pressure over the queen. He was moving over there. I cannot come back here with my queen to give him a check. But I was moving forward with my other knight, and I can defend my knight. He was doing a castle, but I was starting to go for the 3 pieces. I came out with my bishop because it's defended by a knight and via queen. And if he comes here with a bishop, I can go here with my queen, also giving him a check again. But now he's giving me a check with his knight. I can capture with my other knight. Now it was a knight transaction over here. He was giving me another check with his knight, but I was moving away with my king. He did some capturing over here. But now he screwed up with his bishop. I am starting to give him a check. Now I can give again with my queen over here. Now I can put some pressure over his queen. But he lost his queen because I can capture with my rook. And now I can go for a checkmate over here, because if I move here, that will be a checkmate. Or not really, because he can move back with his rook, but I can capture it also, and that's how it ended up as a checkmate. So I don't really know if I invented a new opening or I'm just being delusional. If you guys know any kind of opening that is similar for mine, please let me know, because I don't really know if I'm being delusional or not. Thank you if you watched the video. Goodbye.